Also in the buzz now at 9, two huge events set for this Friday: England's royal wedding and the final launch of the Space Shuttle Endeavour. The launch taking on a new significance now that we've learned Arizona Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords will make the trip to Florida to see her husband Mark Kelly lift off into space. And this is just 3 months after she was shot in the head. Now at 9, a lot of attention is being paid to these huge news stories this week. Which one is more compelling to you? Also, do you plan on watching either or maybe both?
Isn't this an interesting week? What two huge stories
on the same
that
day
we have going on the same day. The oddity of that happening in news is rare because you've got so many people covering both events from the network straight down to local media. Let's get to your thoughts. Samantha Anderson on Facebook writes, she's watching the wedding, but she's going to record the shuttle mission, but I personally don't care if I see Obama or not.
Nicole writes, same here. Don't care that Obamas will be there, but would watch. Royal wedding, not really a big deal for me.
Susie Kruger writes, cannot wait for the wedding. Very excited about the launch for Gabby Giffords and her husband.
Herman Mercado writes, both events are important. The shuttle launch, because it is the last shuttle launch in history. Well, actually, there's one more. And the wedding, because it is a once-in-a-decade event. And there is one more in July.
There is, so it's not the last.
It's the last for Endeavour.
Right, but not the last shuttle launch altogether. But nonetheless, I mean, these last few have been pretty big events. It's the end of an era, but at the same time, I mean, the last time we had a royal wedding was in the 80s.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's,
But
not once in a decade. That's once in what, 3 decades?
3 decades.
Yeah.
But I think so many people can relate to, we've been rooting for Gabby Giffords to get well and to be able to attend her husband's launch. And once again, it is a historic launch for the shuttle Endeavour. So that's going to be a big draw for people.
Yeah, and Susie Kruger on Facebook agrees with you, Rebecca. She says she cannot wait for the wedding, but very excited about the launch for Gabby Giffords and her husband. And again, it's those two major stories colliding, if you will. I mean, you know, of course, everyone was just tuned to the television during the Tucson tragedy, and now to know her husband is going up in the final Endeavour, and she will be there. How exciting.
Silas J on Facebook writes, well, the wedding, of course, though watching the launch is a good one, too. So both for the launch, but not necessarily for the president. So she's going to be watching it for the shuttle itself, not to see the president down there.
And Becky Broadfoot says, Space Shuttle lunch has always captured my interest. Of course, the royal wedding will be taped.
James Everett says, launch. Hopefully no Obama speech. The wedding, well, I'm sure I won't miss anything that won't be replayed over and over on the news. And there's no question, I mean, the ramp up to the royal wedding was going on last week, and today it's kind of on fire. I mean, all the major news networks have people out there. It's exciting to see.
But it's interesting because in their own way, they're two love stories. You have the royal wedding, and then you have Gabby Giffords and her husband.
That's right.
All that they've been through. So
DVRs across
yes, they will.
Crank it up.